Hello, thank you for attending tonight for the Grays Harbor Youth Works presentation on Career Connected Learning Internship Program based in Grays Harbor County. Our mission statement is to provide career-connected learning experiences to all youth throughout Grays Harbor and surrounding communities that support credential attainment and livable wage employment. Now, as everyone has lived on Zoom over the past 2 years, this is our Zoom photo of my board of directors during a board meeting, and I would like to introduce you to them. I think I have a fantastic board, and it's amazing as a nonprofit executive director, these people are my bosses. So I have Chris Hunt. He's the IT manager of Port of Grays Harbor. Deanna Rodriguez, she's my vice president. She's a former student intern and a current college student at Central Washington University. I have Asia Wright. She's my board secretary. She's head of the math department at Lake Quinault School District. I have Geraldine Ford, as we call her Jerry. She's the office coordinator, or now she's become the career counselor at Hoquiam High School. I have Marcy Alstrom, who's now proctor. She is the program manager for the CCR and CTE K-12 teaching and learning at the Olympic School District. She was the recruiting manager at Grays Harbor College. That's when I snagged her. Angela Bovey, she's the case resource manager at Developmental Disabilities Administration. She's been with the Grays Harbor Youth Works since the beginning, approximately 2013, 2014. I have Lynette Buffington, the CEO of Greater Grays Harbor, Inc. It's basically the economic development chamber for Grays Harbor County. I have Gloria Callahan, who's also been with our program since 2013. She has been our past board president. She is the executive director of the Grays Harbor Domestic Violence Center. I have Derek Cook. He is currently the principal of Hoquiam Middle School, and he's been with us for a long time too, which is kind of good. Jamie Graves, one of my business hosts, or our business host. She is a DPT MSPT at the Hoquiam Physical Therapy Services. And Brian Smith is one of my newer board members. He's a senior vice president banking business division at Timberland Bank in Aberdeen. And then we also have Ellie Winkleman. She is a former student intern, just graduated from Hoquiam High School, getting ready to go to college next week on the soccer team. And she's also Miss Outstanding Grays Harbor Teen. So I have a unique board. The cool thing about my board is we also allow 2 positions to be filled by prior interns to keep our perspective on our activities, what we're doing with approval or with their feedback. So this is Deanna. She was voted vice president this past year. She has a lot going on for her. She's taken full credits, and she works when she comes back to town, actually at her business host when she was an intern with us. She said she'd never wanted to go into banking professionally, but she has learned a lot about finances. Grays Harbor Youth Works was started by Dr. Doreen Harden Cato. She came to Ocean Shores in 2010, a huge advocate for homelessness and education. She's known really well in the Seattle area. She wanted to know what the youth were doing out here. And then it took her 3 years with community leaders and the local high schools to put this program into action officially in 2013. I'm currently her replacement as the executive director. I mentored under Doreen for about 1.5 years. And our program assistant is Jessica Eddington, who has great skills in marketing and online finesse. How I got involved with Grays Harbor Youth Works is through my daughter. We moved here from Denver in 2014. My daughter at that time wanted to be a fashion designer, softball player, artist, and her dad and I said, those will not pay the bills. So anyway, the counselor at North Beach High School introduced her to Grays Harbor Youth Works. She was placed at CMAR clinic up here. Not only did she do the required hours, she also spent her whole summer there, found out that she loved the medical field, and then she planned her career pathway in the medical industry, Her senior year, she completed her credits at North Beach and then went to Aberdeen for the Career Connected Technical Education to attain her CNA. That was a 9-month program. And then after that, when she graduated, she had her credentials. She received many scholarships and got married and moved to Vancouver, Washington to go to Clark College. That didn't work out for her, but then she went to Concord in Oregon, Portland, and got her LPN in 13 months. She is currently 24 and has become a traveling nurse. She gave up her apartment, sold everything she owned, and bought a fifth wheel and a truck, and is still married and living life. The coolest part about this story, as a parent, I saw the changes in my 15-year-old child that I was ready to kill at that time. As I was one of those parents, yeah. We did not help her do any of this. She did it on her own, but I saw the changes as she was doing her internship, how she started she became focused. She started doing better in school. She started researching. She really became focused about her future career. And then she started doing her chores, which, bingo, that works for me. And then she really found her passion, and that was very interesting to me. So I went to Dr. Cato and said, I believe in your program. What can I do to help? I want to volunteer. Dr. Cato said, she asked me to become a parent on the board. And that was probably 2016, 2017. And at that time, I didn't even know what a career cluster was. I attended the board meetings. I just listened. I felt really like, what am I doing here? And then when it came up to fundraising, that's when I was able to get involved, because when scheduling events and doing things like that, that's one of my fortes. Then Dr. Cato was able to find a funding for a full-time position prior to that 2017. The coordinator was a 9-month volunteer position, and every 9 months, Doreen would have to retrain the Jesuit volunteer that would come out here. And each one had different skill sets, but to find somebody that could do it all and keep the program in a consistent format and fashion, that hadn't happened yet. So I applied for the position and I earned it. And in 2018, I started as a program coordinator. It's my passion. So by my daughter, Samantha, finding her career pathway has allowed me to find mine. So what Grays Harbor YouthWorks do? Well, the first thing we do is we need to find the students that want to participate in an internship. So we do recruitment. And prior to COVID, we would go to the high schools and talk to the schedule with the high school counselors to get time to speak to the students. We did a quick presentation. And remember, this is career connected learning. So what we wanted to do is find what you're interested in. Then once we recruited the students, they would fill out an application. Then we would find out their interest and match them up with the business hosts in the area. And then we would place them. And then we would monitor their completion. But even those 5 steps, there's a lot to it. As of this year, our processes are all online, like the real world. The application, we ask them to upload a resume and a recommendation letter, and this begins their portfolio for life. We also have them upload a selfie for our software so we can remember who they are down the road. And then we ask them to take the Washington Career Assessment Test so they can be aware of what other careers they could be really good at. So after we complete that, we also complete an orientation with the parents and the business hosts where we lay out our expectations, rules, guidelines, L&I, insurance, all those type of things. The business mentor will actually do the interview. It's not that they will fail. It's not a pass-fail. It's just to gain experience in interviewing. I still hate being interviewed and being live on Zoom or StreamYard. Excuse me. It's still very nerve-wracking. But then the business mentor, when we ask them to participate in a program, it's like take them in and train them. But what we really want them to do is give the student an opportunity to learn their essential skills and gain work experience in the career field that they may be interested in, to find out if this is what they want to pursue post-secondary. And when you work, in our community, you gain contacts. You get to network with professionals, those type of things. We've had scenarios where students thought they wanted to be like a dental assistant and then placed in that office and found out later they didn't want to do that. We just saved them time and money for not pursuing something that they were not going to love. Because as you all know, a career is something you love to do. A job is just trading your time for a paycheck. Once the placement is completed, we have a job description, we have a schedule. Then we do 30 hours or 60 hours, and in between those time frames, we complete 2 evaluations for our qualitative and quantitative data and information, and also to see if there's any issues with the intern, if they need to correct things or how well they're doing. It's a really cool situation we do. We give an evaluation to the student and the mentor, have them complete it. It's on the 10 essential skills. This is from 1 to 10. Then when they're done, we have them swap the papers, and then they get to review what scores were different and the reasons why. It's amazing. The students that do really great tend to score themselves lower. And then those students who think that they're doing really great and not doing so good, those scores are like a little off kilter. At completion, we give a plaque to our business hosts for participating in our program. Our interns get a certificate of completion and also a recommendation letter from us. And then we ask them to update their resume for future reference. That's Jessica buried in paperwork. So the benefits of high school internships, of course, we know network with professionals. You can gain access to future opportunities. References go a long way. You get your hands-on skills, as I mentioned, and then field experimentations. So you can find out, is this really something I want to do? This also gains confidence, and we've noticed since the shutdown with COVID, our students are kind of lacking their social skills. So it's really important for us to really go out there now and get them into some real life settings and let them explore the real world around them. So high school students high school students with internship experience have a competitive advantage and when applying for college level internships and full-time jobs. And a survey of internship programs by the National Association of Colleges and Employers found that 70% of interns receive a job offer. In 2019, I placed over 24 students. 8 of them were hired on by their business host because they were technically, as the internship hours is actually like a working interview. They did so well that the employer went ahead and hired them, which was really good. These are some highlights of our students of this past year. Also with COVID, it kind of really messed us up because we didn't have students or businesses, but I'll explain how we got through that. But this past year, all of our students that participated with us came to us this year. And we're going into our 9th year. And this was a goal that I had when I started in 2018 for students to come to us. That was kind of rewarding this year. So Cassie Wilkie is a student from North Beach. She participated in 3 of our programs. The costume on the right, her dad has a 3D printer, and this young lady knows how to work it all, and that's her costume that she created. She also participated in our digital marketing online social class. Other things that we get to do is this past 2 years, we've done Careers and Natural Resources with Rainier and Pacific Education Institute. This is our first group photo without a mask in March of 2022. And we worked with 4 high schools that came to these excursions, which is North Beach, Lake Quinault, Aberdeen High School, and Wishkah Valley. We also have another project, a STEM project. We call it Walkway Youth Works. It's for ages 10 and up. We teach them how to make underwater remote operated vehicles, very low cost parts, PVC pipe and 6-volt motors. And then we take them out to the area waterways. We put a waterproof GoPro camera on them, put them in the water. They get to film it, and then we get to review and find out what's in the water. We are in partnership with Catherine Marcel, the Westport Aquarium. She was actually the one who kind of thought of this or found out about it, and we've implemented it in our county. This past year, we had the fourth grade Tohola students involved, the eighth grade science class in Lake Quinault, and then we had 17 youths from Grays Harbor County. So needless to say, I cut a lot of PVC pipe. So in 2013, we actually started when the high schools of Aberdeen, Hoquiam, Lake Quinault, Tohola, and North Beach through 2017 and 2018, when we received a large contract from Pac Mountain to pay. It was a paid internship. It was more than minimum wage. I had to have 35 students work 90 hours. That year I was able to get, and they also had to have 2 barriers. I was able to get students from, of course, we had Tohola, Lake Quinault, Wishkah Valley, La Costa, North Beach, Hoquiam, Gravity, Harbor High, Aberdeen, Montesano, Elma, East Elma, and we had homeschool groups. Today we've worked with over 100 Grays Harbor businesses. So our programs are, we've had our basic internship program, Career Pathway Day from 2017 to 2020. We're going to pick that up this coming year. And Career Pathway Day is where we took 2 high schools, a larger and a small one. We have them do the career assessment test. We base the day on the results of that test. The career and the school bus and the student gets color coded. And then we pick them up from their schools. They go to the Grays Harbor College and have an orientation about the programs that the college offers. Then they get to do a workshop based on that career choice. And then after the workshop, they're loaded up onto their buses that are color coded, and they get to visit two businesses in the area. And most of them have provided hands-on experience. And then by the end of the day, we get all the students back on the right buses and the buses back to the schools so they can do their afternoon runs. And so that was very exciting. This year, in 2020, it was scheduled for March 20th, 2022. And we all know what happened then. We had 9 careers, and we had Hoquiam High School and Aberdeen High School. So if anybody's listening from those schools, guess what? We're doing it March 2023. We also had, right before COVID happened, my program manager at the time, Felicia Mullins, had decided hey, she was really into social media, Twitter and all that. Let's do a social media online class internship. And it's yeah, because there's marketing and branding and look, even this, right? So we happened to start March 23rd of 2020 with this series. And since Career Pathway Day was canceled, we turned around and we asked those people who are going to host for us, we asked them to do a Zoom series with us based on their careers. So we turned around and we did that. So we went from hands-on to virtual within 2 days after everything was shut down. And then ESD 113 and other organizations blasted us out in the online world, and we had tremendous results with that. And then we started the Careers in Natural Resources kind of at the end of 2020 with Rainier. Everything was, 6 feet, masks, sanitation or sanitizer, a lot of that. And we only had a few students start with us on that out of Wishkah Valley, but we decided to do it again. And that's when the other 4 high schools decided to join us. And that was totally remarkable. The students, when interviewed at the end of these monthly excursions, not only did they learn fish inventory, road management, soil management, logging operations. Did I say drone? Anyway, there was 9 different things. Oh, tree planting. 9 different excursions that they got to attend. They said that they weren't totally aware of all the possibilities that are in their own backyard. And our goal is to encourage our students to stay, to get their education they need and stay within our community. And they need to fill these positions. There's a lot of people getting ready to retire, and our workforce is very lean right now. And that's why we need to encourage our students to participate and get some hands-on experience so they can choose what's right for them when they get older. We also have we took the social online media class and we converted it to a digital marketing class. And we're also working on a web design class and then our STEM Walkway Youth Works program. So as of today, we've served over 1,000 students in Grays Harbor with one staff, me, and a part-time program assistant. And our social media specialist just came back. She's the first year in college. She participated in that first social media online class, and anything you see online from us is created and posted by our young lady. So this year we also were able to finally get a business host in automotive. This is Anthony. He pursued us very diligently and was really set on getting into automotive, and we were able to do that. This past year it's taken 3 years again to Acosta High School. Even though there's a lot of businesses out there at the docks, it's really hard to get students there, and then the age limits. So the YMCA partnered with us, and we were able to take these students and let them work as junior mentors. When they turn of age of 16, then they can apply and be an actual mentor for YMCA. And this young man, Dalen Todd, he was the first student to get hired on permanently. So these are a few other of our students from Acosta that participated with this past year. Our Lake Quinault School District has been doing this with us for at least 6 or 7 years. There aren't any businesses out there in Amanda Park that are career connected learning. Maybe the fish hatchery, but that's too far to get the students to. So what this school district has done, it's created a model within the school that their students will use one of their class periods to do their internship in a field that they're interested in. So right here, this is physical education. They actually create a lesson plan, they facilitate it, and they grade the students, and they get to do that. Then we have in the library and landscaping and a sports coach. Each of these young men did really well. Cody got to do 3rd grade math, I believe, or 6th grade math. Again, he took his time and he taught others. His goal is to go into nursing. So this is my program assistant, Jessica, and I was like, oh, we need a selfie. And that's what we do. So our website is also shortened. It is www.ghyw.com. No, I'm sorry. www.ghyw.org. And that's the long version, but both will get you there to check us out. So we want to thank you very much for listening to us. If you have any questions, my email is cbrown@ghyw.org. Thank you very much.